Welcome into A Toast Film, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Trey.
And I'm one of your hosts, E Bo.
And guys, we have a special guest for y'all today.
We do.
He's hidden in the shadows.
He's hidden in the shadows. We have a very good budget. Definitely don't look in the mirror. Definitely don't look behind Trey. But appearing from thin air, fan favorite.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo.
This mug.
Oh, man.
Gotta love him.
Guys, this is going to be just like Mission Impossible. It's going to be lean and mean, and we're going to get right into it because we just got out of Dead Reckoning.
Literally.
Or Final Reckoning.
Final Reckoning.
And
get the title right.
It was we've got a heck of a review for you.
We do. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is make this wonderful drink. This was Trey's brainchild before. You do half whipped cream vodka.
Yeah.
Half limeade.
Yep.
Dude, key lime pie.
Get a key lime pie
it's
for
so
the
perfect.
key lime pie lovers out there. It's amazing.
Hey,
drink.
Stitch came out this weekend.
Yep.
So,
yes, it did.
Great drink. Drink responsible.
Yep.
But dude, let's just get right into it. So, Christopher McQuarrie did this.
Yep.
He did the last 4 Mission Impossibles. He was the writer and director.
I knew he did Fallout, and I knew he did the last Dead Reckoning, but
he also did Rogue. So he did Rogue all the way to here. But he was also the writer of The Usual Suspects, Edge of Tomorrow, The Mummy, Top Gun Maverick, Valkyrie, Jack Reacher. He just loves Tom Cruise, I think.
Yeah, I think he does.
Because, that's like 10 Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, man.
But this one, The Entity, AI, everyone's afraid of AI.
Yeah.
So why not make a movie about how afraid of AI people
Right.
Old people. A lot of old people in this movie.
Well, Mission Impossible, every movie when it comes out, it does a villain for the times. And I think it was only appropriate that over these past, part 1 and 2 of Dead Reckoning, that we get the greatest threat that Ethan Hunt's seen, which is a threat that can be everywhere and nowhere at the same time with AI.
That you can't get away with just punching.
Right. Which he's always done before.
Mm-hmm.
But this one really takes it up. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. This one takes it up a notch. This movie, almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It was fast paced. It was epic.
It was also a little long.
Could be.
Some of the sequences, but
there's a couple of shots they could have cut.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of flashbacks.
Like the handshake at the end.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The second part of the handshake.
I was more thinking like the scene with the freaking plane.
Yeah.
Like, sure, that was a cool stunt, but it went a little long.
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
We didn't need like a 15-minute flying through the air.
Well, and especially because we got that in Fallout, So
no, Trey, those were helicopters. These are planes.
Oh, you're right.
Get it right.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Aerial vehicles. We got engineer Jerffy Choo-Choo over here.
Yeah.
Let me just say, look, I need to veer for a second because this guy, he might be a wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. I'm not denying that. He might be a wonderful actor.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. But Esai Morales as Gabriel, cheesiest mug I've ever seen in an action movie. I don't think he understood he was in Mission Impossible. I think he thinks he was in The Naked Gun or something. Because there's a scene, I'm not going to tell you what employs, but he gets his arm bit and he just goes, ah!
I mean, if that happened to you, it would hurt, Eddie.
I wouldn't look like that, though.
No, but...
And there's a scene where he's like, like, he's just a cartoon.
Yeah, no, and I totally understand where you're coming from, and that's a valid point. I view it a little different. I know we were talking about this before, but I thought the reason he didn't take anything serious is because he had a god complex. He didn't think he was gonna die, probably, and he always thought he had the upper hand, so he was just having fun, like playing with Ethan Hunt.
I agree with that because he said before, like, it will come to me. The key will come to me.
Yeah.
And he's always saying everything will come to me. So.
Exactly. So he just looked at it as a game.
Rest in peace.
He kind of thought he was the player in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that nothing could happen.
He's that dude at the club that thinks he has game and he actually doesn't.
The guy is a stud, though. I mean, I will say that.
No, he's ugly. He's terrible.
No.
But we had a lot of returning cast in this from various films. We had a lot of new cast.
Mm-hmm.
People mainly playing like executives, war room
Yeah.
people. Let me tell you though, Haley Atwell,
Man.
really good in this.
She has been a key addition to the Mission Impossible franchise, because her, honestly, in both movies have just, she's almost been the co-lead alongside Ethan, 100%. And it's been fun watching her grow. And if they did another one where she was the star, I would not be mad at it, because she really is just that good. But yeah, this movie was, we saw it on the IMAX. I feel like this movie needs to be seen in IMAX.
The scale is very big.
It felt very epic. This movie was suspenseful. I do agree that we probably could have shaved a little time off, the movie.
A little time.
But I gotta say, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. What about y'all?
I really enjoyed it too. I had a couple things that I don't really like about this movie, and it goes sort of back to the Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
Which is that they're sort of forcing this relationship between Ethan Hunt and Haley Atwell's character a little bit, I think.
Yes.
I mean, that's fair. It's definitely forced.
I think it is very forced.
It's very forced. And then there's a scene at when they're trying to get when they're going to I don't think it's going to get the item that they need, and they just sort of cut to him being okay. I would have liked to see them sort of they cut to it, but they sort of it's all close-ups. I would have liked to sort of see Haley Atwell like struggle to do it, but it's sort of just like he's out, and it just cuts to him on the surface, and that's sort of,
I agree.
That's that, and which are sort of the only sort of hiccups I have with the movie, and the over the top cheatiness that Eddie said earlier. Those are sort of the only sort of,
and there is
the movie.
Some comedy that really works in the movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
there's this one character I'm not gonna bring up that they actually are a callback from an earlier movie. But I thought their comedy was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially the lady. Loved her. She was funny.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot to like. I think we said it best when we got out of the theater, is there's a lot of rewatchable parts in this movie. How many times we're going to sit down and just watch the whole movie itself might be a lot less.
There's rewatchable parts more than there's I can't wait to throw on Final Reckoning.
Well, I think if this movie was shorter, I think the reason why it probably doesn't have as much rewatchability is that it's almost 3 hours long.
No, that's 100% why for me.
Well, no, see, I actually disagree.
I think the stunts and the story is for sure worth rewatching it. But like with Endgame, that's a 3 hour long movie. I loved it watching in the theaters, but I'm not gonna get my way to watch it because it's 3 hours long.
I watch it once a year.
Yeah.
It's about it.
I love it.
See, so that Eddie nailed my point. It's not about the time, it's about how they utilize the time. Yeah. Because Dead Reckoning Part 1 was just as long. Maybe a 10-minute difference, but I will rewatch Dead Reckoning
Part 1. So good.
I could rewatch that.
Also pretty long.
Also almost 3 hours.
And I think the biggest thing, and mind you, we just left the theater. We just left the film. So we still haven't fully took in everything. I'm famous for going up or down on my rating, a couple days later after I've really digested. But my issue with this is the send-off. That's what they kept implying in the trailers, everything. This is it. Final. It's in the title. And I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And I do think it is a good conclusion. If this is the last Mission Impossible, they give you so many throwbacks. They give so much love to the franchise.
They do. They
really do. Especially the opening sequence.
They
do a montage of the previous movies.
Yeah.
With talking about the plot and what needs to happen in this movie.
Right.
I thought it was really nice.
And again, this is a movie we all really enjoyed. We all looked at each other afterwards and we said, that was a good movie.
It's just one of those things where we see some stuff together and we're dude, can you believe Sinners?
Yes.
We left Sinners and we were like, holy crap.
Right.
What a movie.
Right.
But this, we're like, And I mean, obviously,
I would still react as me like, what a movie, because it's still a great movie.
I agree.
I don't.
But I still thought this, like, I still looked today and I said, that was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
I'm just saying we don't have that, like, extreme reaction we would for some things.
We didn't say top 13 of the year.
Yeah, we were just like, you know what? Solid movie.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It might not be top 13, but it's for sure honorable mention.
Not everything has to be top 13.
Right.
Sometimes you just need a good, solid movie. The audience had fun.
Absolutely.
So, boys, let's not make this too long because we got little baby in the house.
Yeah.
She's sleeping. There's that leg.
Do we want to do our cheers rating and then we go into our...
Yeah, we'll do our cheers and then we'll get into the list because we got something special for y'all for the list.
All right.
So, Dumpling, what do you give it? Just yell it out.
I'm saying 4.0.
Okay. A 4.0 from Spencer.
Yeah. Okay.
Jerf.
I'm going to go with a 4.3.
4.3. I'm going to go with a 3.9.
Okay.
Like I said, I did enjoy this movie. I don't want y'all to think, oh, I hate this movie.
Right.
No,
it's just compared to like Rogue Nation. Because
Mhm.
before this, I rewatched all 7 films.
Yeah.
So like I'm fully in
Right.
with the Mission Impossible movies. And I just didn't love it like Rogue Nation, Fallout, Dead Reckoning.
Right.
But I think this is a solid movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, agree. And it's still a good ranking. I've been thinking about it a decent bit while we've been sitting here. I'm going to slightly adjust. I'm going to give it a 4 on the dot. Because I initially was at a 3.8, but you know, something has to be said with the budget, the way it was directed, the scale, and
it's definitely better than a 3.
Yeah,
better than a 3 in the 3 range. I think it's definitely a 4 and above.
Yeah, that's why I have to go 4, because I think with everything they put into this movie, it might be a little lower on the rankings compared to like Fallout and, you know, Ghost Protocol and some of those, but I think this was at least a B movie. They really delivered on a lot.
The budget of this movie is reported it is in the 300 to 400 million range.
Well, yeah, because it's all practical effects.
Wild though.
Yeah.
But
because if that was Marvel, that ending scene, Eddie, I'm not going to say what the ending scene was, but the place he was, that was Marvel. That'd all be CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, who are you trying to tell? You remember, I was in Shazam too.
That's
no
right.
big deal.
Yeah.
I've seen these sets. It's literally just like, it looks like blue Monkey Joes. Just blue things everywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you on a Blu-ray? I don't think so. All right. But it's funny you bring up ranking.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Pay some respect. Pay some respect. You're talking to a future Oscar winner.
I know, buddy. I know.
But everyone's out here and they're like, oh, let me tell you the definitive Mission Impossible ranking.
Yeah.
Boring. Everyone's doing that. We're not doing that. We did something even better. Trey, Jerffy Choo-Choo, and myself, we've all seen all 8 films.
Yep.
So I said, boys, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take each film, rank it 1st to 8.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take each villain, rank them 1st to 8. And then, based on that, we're going to add up all the points, where if you rank somebody 1st place, 8 points, 8th place, 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Toast to Film, the 3 boys, official ranking.
Yep.
Eddie, you didn't want all
well, Spencer has not seen all the films.
You not value her opinion, Eddie?
No, she hasn't seen all the films.
Okay.
That's why I made sure to stress.
Yeah.
You tell yourself that.
Seen all 8. So at number 8, what do we got, my boy?
Mission Impossible 2. No surprise.
At a pathetic 7 points.
Yeah.
Woof. Guys, just forgettable.
Yeah, it was.
I will give someone in this room $1,000 if you can tell me the villain's name in part 2.
It was Russian.
No,
or
like
Scottish. Was it Scottish?
He's a Scottish.
This is your people, Trey. Jeez.
Oh man, Scott's name. Okay, maybe Scott's name.
I want to say it's Sean.
I think the actor was Sean.
You know the answer already?
No, I actually don't.
I'm gonna Google it.
All right, but while he's doing that, at number 7,
Mission Impossible 1.
we have what started all. John
Yeah.
Voight, Emilio Estevez for about 45 seconds.
Yep.
Gone but not forgotten.
And that is no disrespect to that movie. We all think that was a good movie that got it started, but
the wire scene, cool. Everybody agrees.
Yeah,
the
everyone
wire
knows
scene
this.
is awesome.
Well, and also,
I was right. His name is Sean.
Whoa.
It's Sean Ambrose.
You didn't have the
Actor's
full
name
name.
is
Actor's
name is-
He didn't have the full name.
Dougherty Scott is the actor.
hey, he'll be at the bank on Tuesday, buddy.
Yeah, I guess I got 13 cents. He can have that.
I'll just get it from the bank.
Yeah.
All right. At number 6, the movie we just watched,
Mm-hmm.
Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
That got a whopping 18 possible points.
Yeah. Great movie, but
It's got its flaws, and
yeah.
but it's still overall a really fun.
Gabriel.
Well, you know.
Talking AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but we're in the top 5 now. Things are only getting better because the first 3, neither of them even passed 20.
Right.
The movie I'm about to say did pass 20, and then everything after this is in the 30s. So it
Okay.
all got good marks. But sadly, Ghost Protocol coming in 5th place.
Yeah.
Great movie, though.
Love that movie.
Revitalized the franchise.
I love that movie. That movie is a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me.
Very solid.
y'all?
Yeah, I like Ghost Protocol is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It did drop a little for me in my ranking
Yeah.
when I'm watching them all.
Yeah.
But at number 4, and I was very sad about this. What do we have, Trey?
Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Dead Reckoning Part 1. I mean, it still did impressive.
Oh, yeah.
33 points.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
And one of my favorites. I mean, it's second place for me, really, overall. But
And in 3rd place, we have my favorite, Rogue Nation. Let me tell you, Trey can attest. I was a Rogue Nation hater.
yeah.
That movie, Solomon Lane, the action, the pacing,
Yeah.
just a solid movie.
Right. I love that movie. It introduced one of my favorite characters with Rebecca Ferguson. It just
Mhm.
gave us a really
Ilsa.
just gave us a really good villain, and it really started the British MI6, side against the American side working.
Well, same director did, Rogue, Fallout, Dead, and Final, so it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really added a very interesting element to the Mission Impossible franchise and a good love interest.
But in first
A
place,
better love interest.
But yes.
in first place, because we have an exact tie with 41 points.
Mm-hmm.
Jerf, will you do the honors?
Mission Impossible 6, Fallout, and Mission Impossible 3.
A tie. Fallout, I think we all can agree.
Yeah.
Incredible film. Henry Cavill,
Oh, yeah.
Recocking his arms, recocking his biceps.
Yeah. And man, Fallout is the best Mission Impossible, guys.
the nuclear threat,
Yeah.
just the
Everything.
dream sequence
Yeah.
was
Oh,
really
yeah.
good with Michelle Monaghan.
Mm-hmm.
And Mission Impossible 3, we all agree, like Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
I mean, what is there to say about his performance?
That
He's
is
so evil.
That is when, and I will stand by this, that is when the franchise was at do or die. Because you had 1 and 2 that was good. It could have ended with 3.
Well, no. 1 was good, 2 was bad.
Oh yeah. One was good.
Well, because you
2 was
got to
bad.
think 1, 2, 3, 4, all different directors.
Yes.
But do you know who directed 3? Very prominent director.
Steven Spielberg.
Christopher Columbus.
You're actually very close with saying Steven Spielberg, because it's who I like to say is the number 1 student of Steven Spielberg, Mr. J.J. Abrams.
Yep, that answer.
J.J. Abrams
Oh, yeah.
directed Mission Impossible 3, which you want to talk about, and I agree with you, the opening to Fallout being possibly the best.
Yeah, it is for sure.
I love the fact he opened 3 with the biggest cliffhanger of the movie.
Yes. Yeah,
that was a
agree.
very bold choice. Like,
Yeah.
you see Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, who's been in 2 mission movies.
Oh yeah.
He's chained to a chair. His
Mhm.
wife is chained to a chair, and he's like, "You think I won't kill her?"
Oh yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, "Stop!" And
Yeah.
then, then
Yeah.
cuts to credit.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to sit the whole movie like, what was that?
Oh yeah. Incredible.
R.I.P. Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's been a great ride.
It's been a good ride.
The Mission Impossible franchise is one that really needs to be studied because it's one of the few franchises that really gets better as they go along. You know, I mean, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we take this one out, they all just kept taking it up a notch.
So
They did, but I think it also goes back to that Tom Cruise. It's his character,
Mhm.
and I'm sure he had final say in what the character was going to do and like what the
Mhm.
plot of the movie was. And you can sort of like the Star Wars sequel films could take a lesson from this because you had different directors in all of the 3 sequel trilogies,
Mhm.
and they all sort of had their own vision. Whereas Tom Cruise probably had control over everything, so it was sort of like his vision as to what the movies were going to be,
right.
and what the continued plot line of all of the 8
Right.
movies would be,
And-
because they all tie together.
And like Eddie said, you had Christopher McQuarrie who did the last 4. So he really joined a vision with Tom Cruise, and they wrote 4 great movies together.
Jeff said Star Wars. I was actually thinking Fast and Furious could have taken a lesson. As much as I like those movies, because this Mission Impossible is a natural progression.
Mhm.
Like, oh, we have to break in and steal this. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got to do this.
Right.
Like, it's a natural progression where as he's doing these things, it's affecting the world, making the world need him to do even crazier things.
Right.
Whereas you have Fast and Furious, the first movie, they're stealing Blu-ray players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people forget that. The first
Mhm.
Fast and Furious,
Yeah.
the plot is they're stealing Blu-ray players.
Total
Yeah.
scumbags.
And then you get, oh, we're crashing a nuclear submarine.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going into space to disarm a satellite.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
this is not a natural progression.
Right.
Whereas
No.
Mission Impossible, everything feels
Yeah.
like
That's the progression of crime, Eddie. You stealing Blu-rays, then you're going,
Whoa.
you're blowing up submarines.
people. They should have watched that. They should have watched that piracy thing that used to be at the beginning of DVDs.
Where they
Yeah.
got the classified
you
intel,
would
who knows?
steal a laptop.
Hey, look, I've said it.
No, but I would steal a submarine.
I say this
Hey.
all the time. Look, if buying is not owning anymore, piracy is not stealing. Okay.
Steal the high seas, folks.
Well, in that case, we appreciate y'all listening and watching. And if you want to let us know what you think about Mission Impossible, what is your favorite? Who's your favorite villain? We want to know all these things. If you like Spencer throwing the leg, if you like Jerffy Choo-Choo mistiming his entrance, this mug. We love him, though. This mug. He's our mug. You can do that in so many ways. Let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast to Film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter at film_toast, or check us out on beautiful YouTube. Look at young Jerffy Choo-Choo. He just turned the big 2-1. We're so proud of him.
Yeah.
Just make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment. I respond personally to every comment.
Yeah.
I have responded to some comments.
Okay.
We've gotten a couple
But
people
not
popped
all
on there.
comments.
I respond to all comments.
You just said some.
I said we got some comments.
Well, you said you responded
need
to some
more.
comments. Not all
Don't listen to
comments.
him.
Thank y'all for coming in.
Yeah,
and listening.
And we just hope you have a good night.
And good viewing.